Hi, I'm Herb Strather, Chairman of Strather Associates and Strather Academy. And first I would like to thank you very much for taking a few minutes of your time and joining me for this webinar, which I hope will very seriously impact you and maybe change your life. The purpose of this webinar, and indeed my purpose in life right now, is to get Detroiters more involved in redeveloping our community. We have an obligation to redevelop our community, and I'm not talking about just to those who physically live in Detroit, but how about those in the suburbs or whose parents have grown up from Detroit? You're also Detroiters. You might physically live somewhere for one reason or another, educational or whatever, but you're still Detroiters, and I am talking to you. If you are a president of a block club or a CDC, a pastor of a church, or an individual that have a burning desire to redevelop Detroit, let's get involved. Look, you know, Dan Gilbert is like a one-man army who is focused on downtown Detroit and making the quality of life better for people down there. Wouldn't you think that we should at least get involved in redeveloping our community? And I want to lead the way in helping to make that happen. So the purpose of this webinar, if I'm successful, is to get you interested in redeveloping Detroit. So I want you to take, and I hope you already got your coffee and everything, because I'm going to want about 12 minutes of your time. Now listen to this, Detroiters, my colleagues, those who know me and those who are first time meeting me. Wayne County auction is coming here, and it's going to kick off effectively around October the 16th through October the 24th. That auction is the largest auction in the world. The largest auction in the world, with 20,000 parcels worth between $350 and $500 million based on the assessment. I'm talking about houses, industrial, apartments, all of these parcels up for bid at one time. And they're going to go for pennies on the dollar. I doubt if they'll raise 2 or 3% of what they actually is worth at the end of the day when you look at the assessed value versus the amount that was actually bidded. Now it seems to me that these values in Detroit should belong to us first. So what is stopping you from getting involved? It's not enough to say I've already done my part, I'm retired, Herb, I do not want to mess with tenants. Okay, that's the number one excuse I get, that you do not want to mess with tenants. And I can understand you're not wanting to mess with tenants. But I want to ask you a question. How about if I showed you a way that you can get involved and would not have that tenant-landlord relationship, the typical landlord-tenant relationship? For an example, you could help a homeowner that is losing their homes, that's losing their house. Now, many people right now in the auction is in fact losing the house based on the property taxes haven't been paid and the mortgage company have not paid it. Now you can bid, buy the house. First, if you're a homeowner, you can buy your own house back. And if you know someone that is living in a house, and most typically it is the house on the street that nobody is paying attention to, and the person in the house do not even know it's up for bid. But you could buy the house for $500 and up. How about if you bought a home and for $8,000, had a mortgage on it for $100,000. It was your neighbor's house down the street, somewhere that you knew, someone that you know at your church or your community, or a business relationship, that you would buy the house for $8,000 and sell it back to them for $35,000, but you do the financing. Or better yet, some cases the lender will not allow the homeowner to buy the house. Now in the case of Wayne County auction, yes, you can buy the house. But how about in the case of a short? The lender will not allow the homeowner or anybody in their lineage family to buy it. Now the cousins and uncles and all those good, but not their kids or their parents. You could buy it, rent it back to them. They may not be able to pay $1,100 a month, but can they pay $600 a month? Instead of owing $100,000, it's $35,000. You just made yourself 400%. Did you help somebody? Yes, you absolutely helped someone. You help stabilize the community and help keep someone in their home that has been there, that maybe fell on a tough time, but now they're regaining their footage. You can get involved. Now here's a couple of other ways to get involved. You know, how about if you are a tenant right now living in the house? Right now. How about if you know someone living in a house that is up for auction? Maybe you want to reach out to them. Last year, I'm giving away a few secrets now, but you joined the webinar and you should have some. Last year in Highland Park, tons of houses went for $500, occupied. because nobody wanted to live in Highland Park. Last year, over 100 houses in 48217 went where Google did not even go down the streets. Now this year, of course, they're going down the streets. But there are a lot of clever techniques that you can learn if you get involved and you want to bid and you want to help someone. It starts, though, if you're willing to invest in yourself. I'm willing to invest in entrepreneurs that want to do it. Listen, growing up as a kid, I just had a burning desire. My name is Herbert, and I grew up on Herbert. Herbert near Warren and Scotland. And I said, Lord, if I ever get out of here, I'm going to come back and redevelop my community. And an Optimist Club saved my life by having an oratorical contest that I won and eventually became class president. Then I wanted to be the president of everything. Well, I have given back because I built 140 Optimist Clubs, and I went back to my communities and I'm redeveloping them. And yes, Herbert, I'm coming back. The Lord has been good. I've closed $2 billion in deals. And I think that's more than anybody in Detroit. Now, maybe Illich have closed more, okay? Throughout the history of Detroit and maybe the United States. So I have closed a lot of deals, but I'm not gonna live forever. And I do want my legacy to go well beyond me, as I'm sure it will with just Woodbridge Estate standing there, because I put my signature on it. But the real signature I want to put is inside of you. Inside of you. Do you want to be a developer? Do you have the guts? Do you have a burning desire? That's what it starts. What will you do to be a developer? You say, Herb, I don't have any money, but I got time and I'm willing to put all of my time and do everything that I possibly can to make it. Or I've got some money and I'm willing to invest it carefully. I like to take it, get some direction on how we can best put the money at use to fit our lifestyle. There are mistakes that you're going to make. But you don't have to make those mistakes. You could join me. You could join me and let me be your coach, be your guide, and help you not make the mistakes that I have made. Because I've already made the mistakes. You understand? And I'm going to share before this is over some of these mistakes. In the 12 minutes, I can't cover everything. And I think about half of my time is up, so let's keep going. If you are a tenant, you can buy and stay in your own home. I've seen this over and over. And as an investor, it's obvious. I've bought homes for $500 that I rent for $500. Now, figure that out. I got my money back in just one hit. Look around the edges and the curves of things. By the way, the 5 F's, you got to bring something to the table. You got to either find the deal, you got to fund the deal, you got to finance the deal, you got to fix the deal, or you got to flip the deal. You have to do one of those. One of those you got to find, and that's where, if you have no money, that's where you can create a lot of equity. A young lady of mine took my course last year. Now, she invested $500. Do you know something? She made $40,000 because she got $250 for every house that she found. We paid $250. So we're going to stack up about 100 great investments. And so people who are interested in taking the course, you're going to be required to knock on the door and interview people and say, what is your name? Talk to them. Try to figure out their propensity to stay there. If you want them, try to get inside. We practice little things we're going to say over and over to them so that you won't be super nervous. But you got to fill out a submission sheet. We paid $250. This young lady, we bought 8 houses from her. She took $1,000 and bought a 4-flat and a 2-flat off Woodward Avenue in Highland Park. And those houses there is worth $30,000 or $40,000. And we gave her a check. So that's just having almost like a burning desire. Now, some of you do have capital. Some of you can take and invest $10,000 or $5,000 and you can buy a house and you can flip it. But you don't want to make the mistake, for example, of buying too many houses. If you're going to do it, let's take and do it right. Like I said, you got to either find the deal, fund the deal, finance the deal, fix the deal, or flip the deal. And the realtors, you're the flippers. You understand how to do that best. Now, I'm willing to invest in you, and we have a whole plethora of things that are going on, from this webinar to a guide that you could get. If you can't come to a seminar, you can get a guide. Just go to my website, stratheracademy.com, and believe me, you'll find out that we're reaching out and giving you everything you need to make it, to be successful, no matter what economic level you might be on. Okay, now, the seminar, the round table, the guide, I think there's the kit. So we got a lot of different items that we're trying to reach out, because some of you are already experienced. You maybe would like to know the 15 biggest mistakes to avoid. Whatever that is, here is the offer I would like to make you. I want you to come to my seminar Saturday, October the 4th. It's at Tower Center here at 15400 Grand River, the old Montgomery Ward building. I'm going to be here, and I'm going to show you I'm going to show you how to avoid the 15 biggest mistakes, how you can strategize in some clever bidding techniques, and I'm going to give you an offer you can't refuse. That is Saturday, October the 4th. I want you here. It's from noon to 4 o'clock. Yes, it is an investment in yourself. Tremendously, 4 hours of your precious time is going to be involved, and a very small amount of money. But the most important thing is you're willing to invest in yourself and spend the time and learn what it takes. And some of you might like to take and sit around the round table. That's going to be a maximum of 40 people maximum, ideally 30, where you are part of the bidding team, where you go out and you knock on the door and we question the people and qualify them, and thus qualify the investment. Now, before I leave you, I want to just go over a few things that is very, very important. First of all, if you're buying real estate, do not buy too many properties. Please don't. Do not buy too many. That is a sin, and you're going to put yourself in an uncompromising situation. Also, I want to make sure you go out and check the assessments. Please do that. Check the assessments before, not after you buy. Special assessments, make sure the house is not on the demolition list, because if they start tearing the house down the week after, you're not going to do anything to stop it, and they are demolishing houses right now. So make sure you check out special assessments. And one other thing before I let you go, this commitment I'm talking about is not just for Wayne County. I'm looking for developers. I'm looking for young developers that want to do it. I don't care if you have a degree in engineering or architecture or urban planning, or if you have no degree at all like me. What you have to have is a burning desire to redevelop and to give back. Urban development is philanthropic. You can develop green fields all day long, but if you want to develop urban properties, there's something just so magical about it. There's a blessing in it, because you're helping to improve not only bricks and mortar, but the quality of life. To put a nice, beautiful building in the urban area impacts human capital as well as it does bricks and mortar. So, to those of you who want to develop, if you are a resourceful retiree, you have the ability to help out a lot of people, and you can help yourself as well without being greedy. Because believe me, when the bank's short a property 70%, and you could buy a mortgage for 30 grand that on a property that could even sell for 70, the banks are not losing money. The taxpayers is reimbursing the bank. So this is not a get-rich-quick scheme or anything like this. It has taken a civic and financial involvement in your community. And those of you who have a vacant property next door to you, I'm going to ask you a question. Will you save yourself? Are you willing to invest in at least the house next door to you that's going to impact your value? Some of you are mad. Some of you are mad because you're still underwater. But you know what? Don't automatically short your house. If you automatically short your house, you're parked for 2 or 3 years, and you cannot participate in the revitalization of Detroit. But if you do not short your house, go out and short somebody else's house. Go to the auction and buy there. You do not have to take and capture your savings from shorting your house. Now, short everything else first at least. So, okay, everybody, thank you very much for joining me for the webinar. I want to direct you to Strather Academy, and I want you to go straight and join me this coming Saturday, October the 4th, this Saturday at Tower Center from noon to 4. Put down the knitting, the mop, and the broom, and join the coach. See you Saturday. StratherAcademy.com.